You're listening to Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. Comics, television, movies, and more. If it impacts fan culture, we have something to say about it. And now, your hosts, Jordan, Cliff, and Seth.
All right, welcome back to a brand new episode of Ka-Pow, the pop culture podcast. We are delighted to make your acquaintance. My name is Jordan Love.
I'm Tom. Welcome to our show, Cliff Barnes.
I'm Seth. You too could be a patron and have a chance to be offered a free ticket to a baseball game. I offered that to our silver level patron, Justin Lowe. He couldn't make it, but
there was some big old storms up there in Cleveland.
That was what I forgot to tell you guys. That I got up there. There's a store up there that I like to get my Cleveland wear at. I have a bunch of cool Cleveland t-shirts and hoodies and stuff.
Oh, the downtown?
Yeah. And they have a couple different locations, but one's in Lakewood. And I was like, so I go to Lakewood first before I'm going to go to the game. And I get there and I park and I get across in the traffic lights out. I can't get a walk signal or anything. I look across the street. I was like, it doesn't look like there's lights in there anyway. I walk over there and I started walking down the street. The whole half of Cleveland had no power.
Yeah, almost 400,000 people.
It was ridiculous. I had no idea until I got there, and it took. I had not paid any attention until I got there, and then I had no service. I had to just drive in one direction until I finally found a sign pointing to the highway. Like, it was awful. I was like, I got to the stadium, and that's all anybody could talk about. That was like working there is like how they're lucky that they had power down, by the stadium or whatever.
Yeah,
but most of Cleveland did not have power.
That was
like,
insane.
so who knows if Justin Lowe got anything done that day? He should have just come to the game.
He should have. Lesson learned.
Yeah, that would be terrible because they had canceled the night before, and so it was a double header. You'd have to have a triple header the next day.
I don't know if I could handle it. I could have sat there for another game. I sat there for 2 games, and I was like, give me another one.
Yeah, with those seats, I mean,
it was great. I was like, by the time it was over, I was in the front row because the second, I could not believe how many people left after the first game because they only bought tickets to come to the first game.
Yeah,
they did. The second game was a complete bonus to everyone that was there. Like, nobody had plans on being there for that second game. Until that day. And so, well over half the people left after the first game. So I was sitting in the front row. Like, anybody could sit anywhere. It was so much. You could have just been anywhere you wanted to be.
Take what you want. Take what you want from the team shop.
Yeah,
it's funny. An ice cream.
Yeah, it was tax free. It was tax free days. I bought a jersey. There was some younger guy and his girlfriend. They were probably early 20s sitting near me. And I mean, and they were just constantly I was right, by the dugout. And so right there where they're walking on, and all these chicks keep walking on top of the dugout and throwing t-shirts and hats constantly and sliders all up in everybody's business and ketchup and mustard and onion are walking by. Well, Ketchup comes walking by, and the guy is with his girlfriend. This guy kind of catcalls at Ketchup, and whoever was in that suit was amazing. They turned around and a little shy and had glasses on, or putting their glasses down on the end of their Ketchup nose, and go back and walking a few feet and then whipping their head back and looking at him, and they were just laughing about it or whatever went on. About 20 minutes later. Well, first, while they're doing that, I go, get a room. And like those young kids were laughing about it or whatever. And then so like 20 minutes later, Ketchup comes on. I was like, here comes that slut, Ketchup. Oh, it was so funny. We had a good time.
Yeah, for those listening who may not be, around Cleveland, Ohio, at the Guardians games, they have ketchup, mustard.
I forget. They talked about that, how certain traditions and things, because there's things that, and I forget that they don't do those things at every ballpark.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about this. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, you mean ketchup, onion, and mustard don't race at every game in every park? Right. I just thought that was, I was like, that's just a normal thing to me.
Yeah, no, if you go to Pittsburgh, you're not going to see them. I mean,
that's crazy.
You'll be lucky to see a couple dirty old bums out there fighting behind the stadium about all you're going to get in Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Oh, anyway, what were we talking about?
Whoa, whoa. Tune in now and feel the glow. It's Ka-Pow, the pop culture show. Episode 418's our treat. Jordan, Cliff, and Pooh Buzz beat. Pop culture buzz and comic highs. From the best under the skies. Grab your headphones, join the chat. With the trio, that's where it's at. Ka-Pow, Ka-Pow, hear the sound. Pop culture truth all around. Jordan, Cliff, and Pooh Buzz Seth, taking you on every breath. Movies, TV, games galore. All the news you're looking for. Dive into the latest trends. Chatting with your podcast friends. Jokes and laughter fill the air. Ka-Pow is beyond compare. Insight, fun, and fan debates. Episode 41808.
Welcome to the show.
Right.
As we're talking about whatever, this is a D23 night, so they're making announcements. So I'm going to be breaking in with breaking news throughout. You'll think, man, that's when this podcast is from.
That was like old news 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's all right. Right now, it's new to us. This is exciting. Before untainted by anything.
This is like a reaction video to us learning the news.
Without the video.
The video. It's a reaction audio.
A stage adaptation of The Greatest Showman is in the works. Oh my gosh.
Hugh Jackman can do anything right now. His star has never been bright.
What are we talking about?
I hope he wears the Wolverine mask the entire movie. Or play.
He's trying to welcome somebody.
Feel the rhythm, feel the vibe. Let the podcast come alive. In your ears and in your heart. Every word's a work of art. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pop culture buzz and comic highs. From the best under the skies. Grab your headphones, join the chat. With the trio, that's where it's at. Ka-Pow, Ka-Pow, hear the sound. Pop culture truth all around. Jordan, Cliff, and Pooh Buzz Seth, taking you on every breath.
Go ahead, Jordan. Welcome them.
We're well welcomed. This train has left the station.
Movies, TV, games galore. All the news you're looking for. Dive into the latest trends. Chatting with your podcast friends. Jokes and laughter fill the air. Ka-Pow is beyond compare. Insight, fun, and fan debates. Episode 41808. Feel the rhythm, feel the vibe. Let the podcast come alive. In your ears and in your heart. Every word's a work of art.
Let's talk TV.
TV.
Who's watching
TV.
television?
You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
Marsha!
Something ain't right, yo. Yo, son, come on, yo, Omar's coming, man.
I'm Prison Mike. You know why they call me Prison Mike?
Beavis, please sit down.
Are you threatening me? I am Cornholio.
First sign a youngster's going wrong, you got to nip it in the bud. Nip it.
And I'm sitting there with Woody, and I turn to him and I go, boy, these pretzels are making me thirsty.
Picture it. Sicily, 1939.
What you talking about, Willis?
Won't you please won't you be my neighbor? Hey, neighbor.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, I'm watching Big Brother. We're not going to talk about it. It's great. I love the season and having a great time. It's a total mess. Just, they're doing it. Keep it up. What else are we watching?
I don't have Netflix at the moment, so I'm gonna have to live my Cobra Kai through you guys.
Oh my gosh,
Oh.
you didn't watch Cobra Kai?
What?
No,
Oh, we can't talk about this yet.
I don't care.
That's what you think. And then
Yeah.
like it came out the day it came out, I was like, I do not care. Like everybody's loving this show and they're it's better than the movies, and I like take serious offense to that. Like if you could see the record in the background here that you can barely see sticking off there, it didn't play in this. It's the Karate Kid 2 soundtrack on vinyl. But anyway, this show is not better than I cherish those first two movies. So go away with your crap. And the show has its moments. I do like the show, but this season is some of the good stuff. I've enjoyed. There's a little. I don't like about any show that does this, and this show is super guilty of it. Is just constant. We hate each other. We like each other. We hate each other. This show is probably the biggest offender at that. Like I'm really sick of that garbage, but at least the turnarounds were quicker this time. It's like we hate each other, and then a minute later we're friends, and then
we forgot.
So the turnarounds were fast on that stuff. But all in all, it's it was good. It was good. It was a good.
I enjoyed it
or whatever it was. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. So
I instantly wanted more. I was like, give me the rest of this season because they definitely left on okay, they set up. We're about to do it. And I'm like, all right, let's do it now.
Yeah, I watched those first five episodes all in one sitting. So
yeah, I got on my exercise bike here, was watching. I may have just sat there the whole time and watched. I was like, I can't stop watching. It was good. So you should watch that. Yeah. Star Wars Skeleton Crew the first trailer has been released.
Oh man,
December 3rd. There's a trailer out there. Can we live watch this? Come on, Cliff. You've been cutting out the whole night. By all means, let's try to watch a trailer.
Oh, you are really pushing.
I like to see the pants stuff we're doing.
Oh my gosh, Skeleton Crew.
It's a whole thing. There's guys on here. I'm watching it with no sound right now. They're shooting.
Right, hold on. Turn it off.
Pew, 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 pew.
Remind me what this is. It's
gonna be good.
Who is this? What era are we in?
So
I
don't know exactly when this takes place. This is about a kids and Jude Law.
Okay.
So Yeah, let me pull this up.
Oh.
And we'll go back to Zoom here. And we can share our screen, hopefully.
You'll cut this part out. So
yeah.
Cut this fluff out. It'll sound like you did it perfect. You were right on it.
It's going to be amazing. Okay. Oh my goodness.
We're going to watch it behind you?
I don't want to watch it without you in it. I want you in the trailer.
Why is it just me? What is happening? These new Zoom settings here. Why is it just me? I don't know. Okay. Whatever. Apparently we have wallpaper too. Now I've found buttons here, guys. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, now they're coming with
Andor
season 2. Diego Luna is now talking about Andor season 2.
Oh my goodness. Hold on. I don't even know if I'm on the right thing. Give me a second.
Yeah, make sure you're home anymore.
What's happening here?
Oh shit.
PowerPoint is background video file. I don't want video. I want to share my screen.
My favorite player right now, I'm watching the live feeds. My favorite Big Brother player as of right now is T-Core. She's the one I want to go for. She's just the most adult of all of them.
Okay, so can you guys, do you see the blank screen right now?
It's really something I'm looking at here. It's like you're floating in front of the official trailer thing. This is good. Looks like it's 1 minute and 41 seconds we're about to watch. I also
Can you see the screen is what I'm asking.
Yeah,
okay.
Kind of. Everything's black.
Okay.
Except you're there. In the void.
Is this how we learn? Cliff has a lead role.
This is how we learn. Oh my God. Hold on.
Just click play. It's fine.
Yes, hit play.
I don't want to be there. Why am I here?
I don't care. You're not in front of it. You're just there. It turned up. I can't hear it. It's going awful slow. What's that?
We'll set the course of your entire
we got
future.
subtitles.
Coruscant.
Don't you ever want to do anything?
Oh, this is it. We're watching it.
Like what?
That's Max Rebo.
Can you hear it,
We could go
Cliff?
anywhere we
Yeah.
want in the whole
Oh, we
galaxy.
can't.
A real adventure. No more pretend. I found something buried in the woods.
Geordie LaForge.
I was gonna say it was a Star Trek person.
Like Stranger Things, Star Wars Stranger
I
Things,
think it's a lost Jedi.
I think it's a Lost Jedi Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Jedi Temple.
Be careful where you step.
Careful where you step. The skeleton. They did the thing. Punch it!
We're lost. Really lost.
So this is a little like Space Camp.
Yeah, it is. It's Space Camp. Star Wars Space Camp.
No one.
Any of these kids have a broom?
The magic key.
You're a Jedi.
It's Jude Law. Oh my gosh. It's the young Pope back to take it out on these kids.
That was thrilling.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a thing, but
Oh, you couldn't hear any of it? Sorry.
Nope.
Mine was super loud. Well, we tried.
Is that why you yelled? It's Mac
It was really loud.
Breaking news, everyone. There's a show called Skeleton Crew, and you heard it here first.
Yeah, and we can't afford an editing crew.
No,
Okay.
definitely not. Join the Patreon. We can have an editing crew, people.
Andor season 2 will take place over 4 years. Is that
Now you're talking about
that the release schedule? What's that guy's name? What's the guy's name that can't swim? I wanted a T-shirt that says it's sort of K. I don't want to say
Diego Luna?
chemo. No, the guy that can't swim.
Oh, yeah.
Kiwi, Kiko, Chemo.
What the? Oh my God, what is his name? 13 going on 30.
What?
He was in that movie.
Yeah, he was also Gollum. That's what I'm talking about. He's a Gollum. Yeah.
He played one of the apes in the Apes movie, I think.
Yeah, he played the ape. It was his planet. And you're talking 13 going on 30. That's his one. That's his one job.
How are you? I was like, how is that that's not in his Mount Rushmore?
I beg to differ. We live in different worlds, sir.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, I watched a show that I really enjoyed. And then I went online and realized I wasn't supposed to. You're supposed to.
You weren't allowed to?
Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes critics was like 97% fresh. Fans like 55% rotten. Like anything in the fan world nowadays. Batman Caped Crusader. So I looked about, this is the animated show. Apparently it was made for HBO or Max or Warner Brothers like a DC property would be. But when this new guy took over and scrapped all this stuff and was like, kid-friendly animation, that's just not their, not their focus right now. So they farmed anything animated out to other studios. And this wasn't a kid, it was animated, but it's not exactly kid-friendly. It's more PG-13. So it went to Prime, of all places. Like, it's a weird, you think DC, you think Max. Warner Brothers, that makes sense, but not any, the world's topsy-turvy, So this was 10 episodes animated, executive produced by Bruce Timm, who, co-created the series of our childhoods, Batman the Animated Series, like that.
He did the whole universe. I mean, the animated, the Superman
Justice
show.
League, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, all that stuff that is just beloved. So going back to the well all these years later is a little bit iffy, like, should we really do this? But it said he didn't want to go back to that universe. He wanted to do his own thing. So joining him as executive producers were J.J. Abrams, super producer, Matt Reeves, who is doing the current Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman, and Ed Brubaker, who is just an acclaimed, beloved comic book writer, was like the head writer in the writer's room. And he wrote a couple of the episodes, and Greg Rucka, the comic book writer, wrote a couple of the episodes, which those two are famous for doing, co-writing Gotham Central. The series focusing on Jim Gordon and all the cops of Gotham. So this definitely had that kind of feel. It had that timeless feel with fedoras and trench coats and Tommy guns and old Buicks. Like, it had that 1940s noir feel to it, that gothic, whatever you call that. And I really liked it. I thought it wasn't mature, like R-rated, but it was kind of a mature way to tell the story. Like, the mysteries were good. We had a ton of characters.
I've watched half of this.
Okay. Well, the villains are as Batman villains should be. They were very good. They're a little different portrayals, but some older looks to a lot of them. The whole thing, it felt very early Batman.
This is definitely a younger Batman learning the ropes. I love that. Like, his cave is like beakers and test tubes and microscopes and stuff. Like, he doesn't have computer. Like, it's all so old school and just trying to solve the crimes. And he's such a jerk to Alfred. I saw people did not like that.
Yeah.
Like, he's so mean to Alfred. But it's like, that's like, he's like a kid trying to figure out. And that's another criticism I heard, is like, oh, he lost all these fights and he got beat up a bunch. It's like, wait, this is like year one almost. This is like him figuring stuff out. And he's still a traumatized little brat. So the way he backtalks Alfred, he laughed every time. I don't know why. I found that so enjoyable.
But he's still in Gotham. He's not out there yet. People don't know about him.
Yeah,
he's still very much in the shadows, and
So we had a weird mix. It wasn't all the A-listers. We had the first episode was the Penguin, a new take, a female penguin, which a lot of Odins online didn't like a lady penguin. I can tell you that much.
I can tell you that much.
We had a cool Clayface. I like that one. Like
that was good.
The failed B movie actor heavy.
That was really good.
Catwoman, Firebug, a new kind of twist on Harley Quinn. Gentleman Ghost, Cliff. I know you were.
Oh, I love that. That was my favorite episode.
Yeah, I didn't care about Gentleman.
Of course, Two-Face throughout the whole thing. Onomatopoeia, that character Kevin Smith created in Green Arrow. That was going to be in there. And then Nocturna, which I don't know much about, but apparently Bruce Timm tried to do an episode back in the 90s with Nocturna, and like the kid, we can't have vampires in a kid's show, like, so they kind of scrapped that one in the writing process. So this was some itch he had for 30 years. He wanted to scratch and bring this vampire character into the show. So good for him. I
have heard none of the discourse. I assumed people would, as soon as I saw the lady penguin, I was like, oh, people aren't going to like this. But whatever. I mean, that is, I don't mean, of course, no issue with that. There are things I like about this. Like I said, I really like the Clayface stuff. That was great. Mm-hmm. And the Firebug, that whole plot, it's like, it definitely has that Rocket Brubaker, all it's just like a mixture of the noir Batman Year One mixed with Gotham Central and meshing these characters together. And that's good. I have a couple things that, like, one, I thought the first episode, I was just bored. Like, I could not get into it. I was like, okay, is this going to be really slow? And it turned around the second episode. I like it, but this guy sounds like Archer. Have you ever watched Archer? And I was like,
I don't love the Batman.
Yeah. At first I thought, who does he sound like? It kind of sounded like Diedrich Bader, and I was like, no, he sounds like H. John Benjamin. and I was like, he sounds, not all the time, but several times I'm like, Bob man, yeah. Huh?
He's Bob from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. That's what he sounded like. And I was like, I don't know about that. I don't like, but whatever. You get used to it. And he doesn't always sound like that. Just a couple times I'm like, what in the heck?
I think Diedrich Bader was Harvey Dent, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But there, I swear there were times.
Batman was Hamish Linklater.
Yeah, the guy from Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
Which was great. He's great, but I don't know what he's trying to do.
So we're all going to compare him to Kevin Conroy, and he's not.
Right.
That.
I think he's trying to do Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, it felt like
weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And he did the thing where Conroy would do a very different Bruce from Batman. Mm-hmm. He, like, as soon as he gets in the car with Alfred, he's back to the voice. Like, he's doing the Batman voice, like, all the time.
The Christian Bale. There's not enough Bruce in this show, I think. At least I'm only halfway through it. It's like, I get not doing the same thing as the animated series, like doing something else. I'm glad they're not just doing what is beloved and trying, a different era. And I like Year One stuff. And I guess the other purpose is to have him not win every fight and have him not have all the technology, and creates more obstacles for Batman and makes it interesting. But at the same time, as they depict this, whatever era this is supposed to be, I find it hard to believe that in that era that there's no racism, there's no there's African American women, lesbians, and at fancy restaurants kissing and stuff. It's like, of course I have no problem with that, but it really is noticeable in this world.
Okay, careful. We're getting into nuance here. There's very little nuance in.
I know. I want to be very clear
so,
that I am not against any of that. we are staunch supporters of all things progressive, and I understand the allure of. I'm not even sure that I disagree with anything they did. Like, I love seeing this world depicted, that they can do this old timey stuff and have this progressive things going on, but it's so odd. Like, it's like you're just ditching any chance to comment on it.
Well, here's the problem, though. I had a conversation this week. Somebody had just heard about this. Like, oh, so, Gordon and Barbara are black, right? So it's going to all be about black and how hard it is for a black person in the police force. And I'm like, no, they don't mention that
at all. Not ever.
Nothing.
So he would not want that show dealing with race.
Right.
But to not deal with it at all is a little weird from my side of things. So it's like, this to not mention race or sex, it's like, okay, well, I don't know. How do you not mention it at all?
Yeah.
Like, is that the solution?
And I think
nothing matters.
I don't. I think they're doing the right thing. I guess. Yeah. I guess if you want kids to watch this and stuff, it's like letting them see how it shouldn't be. No, it should be fine.
That's exactly where I was.
That's great.
Going.
But I don't know if this is a kid's show. Like, this show is it's not. It's if I was a kid, I wouldn't be paying any attention to the show. Like, it's not.
Yeah,
it's so dark. Like,
that's the oddity with it, is that stuff. It's made to be, if a 10-year-old's watching that today, and they're not going to think. Let's say they don't think about that stuff, the racism and all that. It's just going to be, I see gay people all the time in my life, or out in public, or It's not a big deal. Doesn't matter to me. Whatever. I'm used to it. It's not shocking. It's not. It's just part of normal society.
It just feels like erasure of what we're talking. This isn't even a real time.
Right.
Like, this isn't noir. Noir isn't like, remember noir when our parents were in noir? It wasn't a thing, but it's like, it feels like it should be represented in some way. But then,
which is like, I think back to Gotham Central, and Montoya is such a great character, where in that series she gets outed.
Yeah,
and it is blowback to her relationship.
Gotham Central, and it's all through that.
Yeah, it's not portraying it as right or wrong. It's just like, here's a gay woman, and here's what she deals with in the workplace, full of very masculine people, and like, it's an issue. It's not the main thrust of the story, but it's like, it's there. So like, this feels a little thinner not dealing with it. Everyone's just fine with it.
You have to wonder a little bit.
That's how I feel about it. Yeah.
If that's a studio decision too.
I don't know.
They said, well, you can put this in here, but don't talk about it. Studios do dumb shit all the time.
Yeah,
so it's,
who knows? It's not real. I'm not really criticizing. It's more like, it's so noticeable. And I just wonder, I don't know whether, is there a right or wrong? It doesn't matter. They didn't do anything wrong. It just is odd because it's like, why else are we in this time frame? I feel like we're just in this time frame because it's not the time frame of the original show.
Right.
Yeah,
the original show was no time. It was, they had they had phones in their cars, but it was they were old.
Yeah.
Everything was really old. Yeah.
But I'm definitely, I want to finish it and see how it goes. See there's certain things that have, that I've thought, I wonder if they'll return to that, if they'll, if like further in the season things, they, go back and pick up on something from earlier or not, but it's good.
Yeah, it's mostly standalone. Each episode has its own villain, its own story, but it's definitely building a backstory throughout, which I like. And I liked Harley Quinn a lot. I
like that take.
It was a different take because that this show is what made Harley Quinn. She debuted in the animated series, so it's a very iconic thing to mess with from her co-creator. But I read the actress went in and like try to just to do the crazy Harley Quinn voice. And they're like, let's try something different because you're never gonna sound like Arlene Sorkin. It's not gonna work. So like when she's Harleen Quinzel, she's bubbly and fun and laughing. But when she becomes Harley, she's like scary, like monotone.
She's Batman.
Yeah, she's creepy.
She's Batman, and she's like supposed to be bad and stuff, but she's not doing anything that he's not doing. Like they're basically doing the same thing. Like she's mean to criminals and stuff, and so is he. She's probably better at it. I don't know. I was like, I don't know what to make of it, but I think it's an interesting take. I like that character because you don't see Harleen Quinzel. Like, what have we seen of her?
Yeah,
like
it's only in a flashback.
Yeah, I like getting to see
brief.
something.
Yeah.
But like I said, I really like. I thought I really liked the thing with Clayface. I really liked the firebug thing that seeing through his eyes and stuff like that. Like, that it's good. It has its moments. So, but so I do accidentally see myself like pick up my phone. I'm like, okay, yeah. So, then I'm like, well, wait, it's starting to be interesting. Glad they
did. All the supporting cast you would expect from the GCPD and
it's
Lucius
such a
Fox
mesh.
And Leslie Tompkins and Julie Madison, his girlfriend, Rupert Thorne, and then there's a couple of Easter eggs. Jim Corrigan is there as a cop. Eel O'Brien. You know who Eel O'Brien is? Yes.
I think I was more excited to see him than in an episode than I was anybody else.
Waylon Jones, Killer Croc, Papa Midnight, crazy, and then there's an assassin named Floyd Lawton.
Yeah,
we don't know if he'll be back in a costume or not. We don't know. So
Deadshot.
Just a lot of little Easter egg dipping in and out. So I was all for this show. Again, it wasn't wall to wall great. There were some slower moments and some why they do that way, the kind of moments. But overall, I really, really enjoyed it as a fan of the original animated series and someone open to something new. Go ahead, try new stuff. So yeah, I was all in for it.
Okay, breaking news. There was a teaser for well, of course, first off, Baloney came out, him and Jon Favreau. And they gave a teaser for The Mandalorian and Grogu. But Razor Crest has made its return.
Really?
And Zeb.
Aurelius?
Zeb will appear in the movie. Zeb from Rebels. There's your breaking news. That's what you get right now. I'm watching Claim to Fame.
Okay.
I like that show. I've talked about it before. This is, I think, it's the third season.
Celebrity Relatives?
Yeah, Celebrity Relatives. Like, usually it's an interesting show. It's a fun show because, like, it is relatives of famous ass celebrities, and they all try to figure out who each other are. They do these stupid competitions that every competition gives clues to who the other people are. And there's a big wall of clues and they look at, and then there's bottles whoever wins the challenge that we can go in and get somebody's like puzzle clue, and you get to try to figure it out. Like you pause it and set and try to figure it out yourself. And it's like, oh, I know who it is now. And like, it's like, it's fun. It is a good reality show. Like, I highly recommend it. Every season has been enjoyable. This is the third season. It always has. I mean, the people aren't anybody, but they're related to really, really famous people. So, and then when it's at the end of each episode, somebody has to guess who somebody's relative is, and if they get it right, that person has to go home, and their celebrity relative shows up on the screen and tells how they're related, and then if they get it wrong, they go home and then reveal who theirs is, and that person shows up on the screen. It's good. Recommend checking it out. Trying to figure out who these people are. I don't have everybody figured out, but most of them. I don't know. We just sat there waiting for breaking news, or
we are the number one source of breaking news.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
we're gonna sit here, break it, and then release this in 2 weeks.
Incredibles
Ryan
3. We have Frozen 3 coming.
Ironheart. Ryan Coogler's there with Kevin Feige to talk Ironheart.
See a new series, Disney Plus series, Dream Productions, based on the Inside Out universe. Riley's, it's the studio that produces Riley's Dreams.
Well, I saw that movie. Riley went to a concert with her dad, and he was the butcher. So Riley's having a big summer.
Lots of drama in our summer movie prediction.
Oh my gosh, it's coming down the wire. We got 4 weeks left. It ends after Labor Day weekend, and it is tight, folks. Cliff and Jesse are eliminated. They got some right, but they got some wrong. Jesse's big mistake, I'll go ahead and he would want me to bring this up, that he did not use the month of May, I believe. he thought we started. He forgot last year we started with Free Comic Book Day weekend, the official beginning of summer, and he went with Memorial Day weekend, so he missed out on some movies there. But he'll get it. He won last year, so we have no sympathy.
That's the funny thing is, like, he won last year. I was then behind him, and then you guys, and it's been totally the opposite this year.
So anyway, it's coming down here. Jordan has really nailed some. I'm only 2 points behind him, but things could get shaken up here. Where Alien hasn't made a dime yet, but this new Alien movie comes out.
Did you see the trailer for that thing?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
I have. Tell your friends, go see Alien.
Don't go see Alien. It's the same thing you've seen before. Watch it at home. Go see Garfield again.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Good luck trying to find that. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, you've got Fall Guy nailed at number 9. And you've got Garfield hanging on by his toes at 10. But if I could get Garfield knocked out of the top 10 with Alien, well, now we're talking. Now we're in business. And it would be hard.
I definitely didn't have Alien on my phone.
I don't either. I just need you to make less points. I don't need to make any more. If I can get that knocked out, and if it knocks out Garfield, it's going to knock out Fall Guy, because they're within 1 million of each other. I mean, if it knocks Fall Guy out of that 9th position, you lose more points because you've got 10 points for it right now. You would lose 3 points there.
Well, I'm feeling stressed if I happen to win of what I'm going to make you guys watch, because I can't even narrow it down. That's such a hard proposition.
Out of nowhere, Blake Lively's new movie released yesterday, and it's projected to make $40 million in its first weekend. It could be who knows what it's going to do. It could do the job for me right there. So it's going to be a tight one, folks. There's several scenarios. It's definitely going to be within 3 points between me and Jordan. So we will see. We got 1 month. 3-point difference is going to change in a month in some way. Deadpool could pass Inside Out. That would change. That would give you 1 more point than I have. But we'll have to wait and see. If Deadpool beats Inside Out, that would be the craziest thing to ever happen, because it's a rated R movie. Like, that does not happen. It
already passed Passion of the Christ as like the highest grossing,
as the highest ever.
Yeah,
and it's still making money. It could actually be an insane record breaker. So
Don't
Who
count out
knows?
Marvel, everybody. Those scrappy underdogs sometimes get a win. There's Disney. Disney occasionally pulls one out for the underdog.
Yeah. I will correct myself, Cliff. I made a statement last time that every time Pixar's been up against Despicable Me won, except one time.
Mm-hmm.
When the first Inside Out came out. So I guess it's okay that it happened again.
That's the only thing I've got going on in this contest was I had Deadpool 1 and Inside Out 2 at 2. And then it all fell apart after that.
Yeah.
All right. So we still got some fun movies this summer. We've got baseball to watch. We've got TV to stream. We've got podcasts to listen to. I mean, there's life to live, everybody. How about it?
Oh, let's end it with a Yeah You Know Me. I've got a Yeah You Know Me.
Whoa, curveball.
Curveball. End with a Yeah You Know Me, just to have a nice button on this episode.
You down with KPP?
Yeah, you know me.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
You know me. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You know me.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
You know me. You don't know how it feels to be me. If you don't know me by now.
Why are you the way that you are?
So, this is an easy one. This isn't even that exciting. So, your forever 3 pizza toppings. The only 3 pizza toppings you can ever have. You don't have to get them all every time, but they're the only 3 you could ever have. Cheese and sauce don't count. Those are gimmies.
What do you mean cheese doesn't count?
I mean, you don't have to use that as one of your toppings.
Oh,
of course it's going to have cheese on it.
Well, I'm a meat guy.
I know. I could have told you right off the bat. There's only 3 things Jordan wants on a pizza: meat, and more meat.
Well, this is trouble though, because you get those frozen pizzas. They're like the 4 meat combos. So I got to eliminate one of the meats.
You could never get those. That's what I'm saying.
I'd have to pick off one of the meats.
Oh, good luck. You go straight to hell if you eat a piece of something. Yeah. So what's your 3 toppings?
Vegetables are fine, but they don't need them on my pizza. So I like, if I got cheese dripping and sauce bubbling, I want to bite into some red meat. So give me pepperoni, sausage, and bacon.
Wow. It will be a short life.
I'll take it.
You won't get sick of it.
I don't think you can go wrong with that, Jordan. I was sitting here just like,
I love
what am I going to say now?
I will say that I just had I've been ordering from Doughboys, and I actually made them just make me another pizza because I order well, first off, my 3 toppings would be, I gotta think, definitely banana pepper because that's my favorite, but I want some meat on there, so pepperoni, and it's either mushroom or onion. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to mushroom. Pepperoni, mushroom, banana pepper. But anyway, I always get pepperoni, mushroom, banana pepper, green pepper. Well, pepperoni, mushroom, onion, banana pepper, green pepper. That's it. Anyway, I ordered it from them a few weeks ago. They brought it, no mushrooms. I call them. I was like, hey, I clearly wanted mushrooms on this. In fact, it's probably one of the most important things to me. And it's not on there. And they're like, well, we'll put on here next time. You get $1.50 off. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to start a fight here. They made a mistake, whatever, you know. The next time, of course, they had no note of it, and like $1.50, I don't really freaking care about that. That wasn't the point, but that was the only recompense I got, and they didn't even want to give it to me the next time. I was like, whatever. So then a couple days ago, I ordered one, and the exact same thing happened. It had no mushrooms on it, and so I called them and I was like, "Hey, this happened again, and last time you gave me $1.50 off on the next pizza, but this time I just want you to bring me a whole new pizza." It's like, because $1.50 is nothing, and I paid $25 for this pizza, so I want the pizza that I ordered.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, now you're paying attention to what I want."
Now there's notes about you.
Yeah, right.
They didn't take notes on the mushroom, but now there's a
Actually, the girl that she was a manager or something. She was like, "Oh, I totally understand. You know, you're paying for it." And she apologized. She goes, "I'm sorry that happened before at all. You know, they brought me the right pizza, and boy, it had more toppings on it than I'd ever got from them before." I was like, "Oh, look at this loaded ass pizza. This is the way it should be every time."
And a couple of juicy loogies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Whatever.
Wow.
It was delicious.
Yeah,
that doesn't really happen, by the way. I worked in restaurants a long time, and with some pretty skeezy people, and I never saw anybody spitting anything. Like, people aren't usually that decrepit.
I immediately kind of went the same direction as Jordan. Is what, like, I would normally, I guess, typically order would be like, you know, pepperoni, extra cheese, sausage, but I will say,
pizza.
Yeah, but here in the last few years, if it's available, I'll go for a margarita pizza.
Oh, nice. Margarita up. Yeah, I got a lot. I asked somebody working. He said, "Oh, okay, pineapple." I was like, forever. I don't mind somebody saying they like pineapple on pizza. I would eat a pineapple and ham or pineapple and bacon pizza that was sitting there, and that's all there was.
But
and
not all the time.
It would be fine, but not my forever pizza.
Yeah. So the mozzarella cheese,
tomato,
bubbled up, basil, and then the olive oil on top. Yeah, that's
forever.
I could do that forever. I could do that forever. Yeah.
I'll hold you to that. Because this was official. And that's all you can have forever.
It's in the annals.
It's in the annals of history. Once you're in the annals, I don't know what to tell you. All right.
Okay. Now you know us a little bit better.
Now you know what pizza to buy us.
That's right.
3 different pizzas.
If you'd like to know us or order us a pizza, join the Patreon. $1 a month.
That's a great way to get us some pizza.
Yeah, that would get us a whole topping. That would get us mushrooms.
2 people, and we're already above that $1.50 threshold. So I mean, come on. And you can watch some of these full recording sessions. Nothing cut out. Watch the bathroom.
There's people listening without anything
in real time, and what we're talking about, real life stuff. It gets put on there quite often. So
wow, they could have heard a whole rant earlier.
That's true. A whole thing.
Release that to the masses.
Got to pay that $1. Maybe we'll raise up to $1.50.
You advertise what it's about.
It's a $1.50 story.
You advertise what that was about, and put the Patreon, put it up on your page. I bet you get some takers.
Bet I would. Some we don't want. Anyways,
we're not here to make enemies. All right, that's it from us here at KPP. Thank you for listening, and we will be back before you know it. My name is Jordan Lowe.
Cliff Barnes.
Seth, hold on. I'm going to get the last breaking news on my feed. Daredevil Born Again, Ironheart, John Barenthal returns, and Kamala Khan's father will appear in it.
Wow.
It's going to break the internet.
Oh my gosh.
It might. That's the funniest thing I read all night. And oh my gosh, you guys are going to believe this. Percy Jackson's next. Okay. Goodbye forever, I hope.
Ka-Pow, the pop cultured podcast, is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Sounds, music, and clips played during the podcast are property of copyright holders. All original content is property of www.udownwithkpp.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a comment. Ka-Pow, the pop cultured podcast, can be found on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found. You can connect with us through social media on Facebook, YouTube, at the Ka-Pow Podcast on Twitter, or email the show, Ka-Pow, the pop cultured podcast, at gmail.com. If you really want to go the extra mile, join our Patreon at patreon.com/udownwithkpp for special content and access to Patreon-only benefits. We are grateful for anyone who chooses to contribute, but please know that most of our content will remain free. So please continue to like, comment, and share.